Hey guys, I got a lot of requests of everybody wanting to know my little setup on the Gspeed chassis. I'll start with the outside. So I'm using a J Concepts creep body. Cab is just as wide as the tires. You know, it's a class 2 truck, and I was trying to keep this truck a little bit narrow, as I feel keeping it narrow makes the truck more capable. You can squeeze through more spots and whatnot. I'm running the PowerHobby tires. They're not released yet. They're soon to be. And these are today's gonna be 2 compounds, the standard compound and the sticky icky compound. And that's what these are, the sticky icky. Actually pretty soft, and they actually work very well. The foams are a OT6 2-stage foam. They're the white dots on SSD wheels. No weights in it, nothing, just SSD wheels. And I think I'm running the SSD patties in there, some brass patties. This is the Gspeed V3 chassis, pretty good chassis. Actually improved a lot over the stock chassis. I feel like I have more belly clearance, the better link geometry, and you know, it does pretty good. For the transmission, I'm using a SEX transmission, the 1st gen transmission. It's a plastic housing, aluminum Robinson racing gears with a carbon fiber motor plate. The gears I'm running is a 90 spur and a 12-tooth pinion, 48 pitch, with a 1000 kV Holmes Hobby revolver. I'm going to be switching this motor out to the team spec, the 2250 kV, because I kind of like this car a little bit more on 3S. The servo is one of my favorites. It's a 17 volt servo, so it's a 4S servo. I'm using just the 3S with it right now, but it's a direct power, no BEC. One wire goes to the receiver and the other wire goes to the battery right here. For the ESC, I'm using the Holmes Hobby Crowmaster Mini ESC with the tiny little BEC I found on eBay. Our radio choice is a Futaba 7PXR with a little Futaba receiver. My little 3S battery. It's a 3S 500 milliamps. And you can see how low it is. It's on the Gspeed battery mount. It's super, super low. For the body mounting, I'm using a DSM universal body mounts, front and rear. This brace is a magnesium brace from Team Broad. I think it's a 70 millimeter brace, super, super lightweight. For the bumpers, I'm using I designed this with Fusion 360, and I had it printed at Shapeways. So I'm waiting for a 2 millimeter rod to come, because that's what's gonna go in these little holes. So a 2 millimeter rod is gonna go from here to here, and it's going to be a little bit wider than the chassis rails. That's front and rear. I'm using the Desert Lizard shocks. So my shock setup I'm using on this particular car is full droop, 90 millimeters full droop. I'm using the longest, softest spring and full droop with 30 weight front and rear. So the front, I'm using the stock 4-hole pistons, and then the rear I'm using the 1-hole piston. So the links, I kind of been working on some new stuff. So the rear links is some Samex links that I really bent. And you can see how bent they are. But I'm not too fond of the Samex links because they're really soft, as you can actually see right here. Like one little tumble, they bend like they're like butter. And the top link for the rear, I'm using just the stock links so far. For the front links, I'm using just a 4 millimeter rod I got, and I kind of threaded it myself. I put a little custom bend in it And the reason why I went with that bend was to, instead of the links being really wide going from here to here, I felt like when the links were really wide, you had to like struggle more to get off the rock if it got hung up. So being really narrow kind of helps it slide off the rocks a little bit better. That's my opinion. So now for the axle situation, I'm using a AR45 portal in the rear with the AR44 SSD diamond axle in the front. And yeah, so the portal gives you a lot of overdrive. And if I remember correctly, I kept the stock portal gears, and in the rear, I think I put the OT6 gear. I think the ratio was like a 3.0. It was the overdrive, standard overdrive, and I put it in the rear to slow the rear down a little bit. And for the front, I have a deluxe fab reversed cut gear, because in order to make this portal and non-portal work, you have to flip the ring and pinion and put it on the other side and get the reverse cut gear set. And that's what I did. It's really a basic setup, as you could see how low everything is. Like the laydown servo. Oh, I'm using the Gspeed Laydown servo mount with the Gspeed Pan hard mount. And you can see how low everything, like the battery, barely comes higher than the motor. Now, same with the ESC. I mounted it straight on the chassis rail. But yeah, it does really good just as is. You know, keeping it simple. And then the weight with the body, the battery, and these tires, with the weights and stuff, I think it's 4 pounds, like 8 ounces or something like that, which is, I think, a really good weight. But any other questions, just leave it down in the comments and I'll answer them. All right, take care, guys.